Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome to more Clan Wars here. We are actually getting started off just right into Pboop versus Mice Musketeers. These players are ready. I hadn't heard back from Wolf Owl Empire and Badger Missionaries, so they might just have to finish their games off stream. But we have a live 2v2 ready to roll here. We're going to have Sassy and Lego for Pboop versus Evil Murloc and Big Chungus for Mice Musketeers. And yeah, let's get into it. Don't want to make these guys wait. So yeah, today should hopefully go pretty smoothly. I've got 2 of the matches and replays ready to roll. There we go. I think they're sorting out the team. No, wait. The team locks are wrong. I think they're figuring it out. Sassy and Lego should be on the team. Chungus and Murloc should. So Evil just needs a. You need a switch. Yeah, there you go. Okay, okay. We're figuring it out. And then team 2. Yep, perfect. Okay, here we are. We're in it now. Okay, so let's see what these players have in store for today. Looks like everything's all set up. Oh, okay. Murloc wasn't able to see what team he was on, I think was the problem. Alright, so, yeah, let's hop right into this. We got a 2v2 match coming up. Players are deciding on their decks here. So this is going to be best of 3, and then that's going to score a point for either team. And then I do have 2 sets of replays ready to roll, which is nice. So the only other thing would be an additional 2v2 today if the players are in position. Sasha asking, what does he order the replays? It's honestly going to depend on if I can get the live players wrangled together, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to try to prioritize the live games. But I don't think we've heard from the other team for Mice Musketeers or from Premium Bow yet, so I imagine after this we'll probably go on the replays and then start off. I'm gonna save. I know you're not gonna like that answer, Sasha, but I'm gonna save Sasha and Mishi for as long as I can. That's the hype match for today. Okay, looks like everybody's getting ready. I'm trying to keep an eye in the back end here. Everything looks good. Okay, I think everybody's getting it all figured out. But most likely after this, we're going to hop into the replays, and then hopefully the other 2v2 live happens, but honestly I'm not going to kind of wait around too long. If players aren't ready, then they'll just have to play off stream and get it sorted out with their clan leaders. It looks like everybody's kind of finalizing their picks, and we should be hopping into this here shortly. What was the records? I know Pboop, we won our game last week, and Mice Musketeers has not. So Pboop's coming into this with 1 victory, Mice Musketeers 0-1 so far in the Clan Wars. Just waiting on Sassy to wrap up his deck selection, and then we'll be hopping into this. I do like Lego Man's comp. I think so far it's been working really well in 2v2s, just very high value. You know, with the pigeons and a lot of the tanky tier 2s, staying alive, getting a lot of value. You know, not losing too many units. Okay, here we go. I think we're ready. All right, match number 1 here. Hopefully no lag. Over on the bottom left, Evil. What I call it, Evil Chungus. And in the top right, we got Sassy Lego. Okay. Map looks kind of interesting. I think it's a little bit better here for our Mice Musketeer team. I think they kind of more easily can expand towards the south. Meanwhile, up for Pboop, there's one pretty easy expansion up here. Maybe this one will also not be too bad for Sassy or Lego to pick up, but these couple mills in the middle are going to be really difficult. So yeah, I mean, I guess when you split it, it seems like each player kind of has a reasonable natural. but I would give a little bit of a map edge here to the Musketeers. And not a lot of defenses in the decks. I'm curious maybe if Murloc can get this middle Gristmill, start throwing up some balloons and stuff. Alright, Olive's here, that's good. Hey, what's up? You did it, man. Alright, Olive, do you know if your teammate is ready to roll for today? So then, if that's the case, I think we just need to hear from Premium Bo. And I do have an unread Discord ping, so that might be from him. Ideally, I'd like to get these live matches done first. And I've kind of got the replays here to buy time if needed. But it's a lot easier to get the live matches done when everybody's in position for them. So nothing too crazy just yet. Just some 8 farms and a double tier 1s. More and more tier 1 coming down from Lego Man here. So the first big decision making is going to be who's throwing down that tier 2. We already see Skunks on the way here for Lego. And then of course expanding. But it seems like so far, you know, it's really difficult to get that second base up and running in 2v2. Let's see if anybody kind of goes for it. Yeah, Big Chungus is going to grab Mill down here in the 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, Murloc getting up to some cams. So looks like we're going to be powering up here into the early mid game. Doesn't seem like too much tier 1 aggression is going to come across the map. Sassy rocking the toads, Murloc with the lizards, squirrels for everybody else. Sassy's also got moles, so Sassy's kind of got this pretty interesting deck, to be honest. A lot of like strong, pushy tier 1, and then the boar badger rounded out with some chameleons in the middle. So the question is, does Pboop know about the expansion yet? They don't. Lego Man coming down here to scout. Really smart decision from Chungus. Good scout here from Lego, sees all the tier 2, but doesn't see the expansion. Looking for that sweet spot to go home, but he can't quite find it. Oh, he gets a stealth reveal on the chameleon. That was really nice, so he confirmed it was chameleon, but we still don't see scouting confirmation from Pboop on Chungus's second base. So far, Chungus has this base nice and sneakily. Ooh, look at this badger placement from Murloc. Okay, so things are starting to get spicy. However, Lego Man is getting some snakes out, so he's already kind of getting into the right units for that. Oh, man! Oh, good placement by Murloc. Sassy does scout the expansion from Chungus, but doesn't see the tier 3. So yeah, so no expansions just yet for Pboop. I mean, Lego did take a mill, but hasn't committed to throwing any units on it. I think maybe Pboop is gearing up to contest the second base. That mine is going to let Mice Musketeers know that the attack is on the way. And how much longer do we need on the Badger? The Badger's still pretty far away, and now that it's supply blocked, you know, it's going to be a long time before that thing actually starts making. And here we go, big attack coming in. Evil Murloc trying to flank Lego Man and get on top of all the juicy tier 2. He does a good job, but all tier 2 stays alive for Lego Man so far. Meanwhile, Big Chungus and Sassy fighting it out on the front, but it looks like Big Chungus is getting the edge there, starting to push back. Sassy's army was completely wiped. And Lego Man still has his tier 2 alive and is managing to get most, if not all, of this tier 2 out. But the problem for Murloc, I feel like, is this Badger is just not paid for. He's going to have to come over here, sell some stuff. Pay for that Badger. Yeah, there it goes. Meanwhile, Chungus throwing out the boar, but they are still under attack, so if Mice Musketeers can hold out long enough to get this Badger up, that could be really helpful. However, Lego Man does have his snakes, and that is kind of the unit of choice for Lego Man, so he should be able to tag that Badger pretty quickly as long as these snakes live. Another big attack coming in. Sassy rallying a big army, but these skunks in these 2v2 fights are so crazy. Really mowing down all the tier 1, no problem for both sides. And it looks like when the dust is settled, this big tier 2 army of Lego Man is still standing. The Badger is almost here, but there's not quite enough supporting units for Mice Musketeers. Maybe this is where Pboop is going to break in and deal enough damage. Alright, Chungus's base starting to take some hits. And the Badger is finally here, but the question is, does Pboop see it, or is it going to get over? Okay, it gets rallied over, but there's really not a lot of supporting units for this Badger. Let's see if Lego Man can pounce on it and get the snake stacks. The Badger's starting to enter the fray, but Murloc, being careful, is aware of all the snakes here from Lego. so far, no poison stacks on the Badger, and nice decision making from Murloc. Gonna just use this Badger to clean up the reinforcements from Sassy. Trying to get it out though. Really good control on this Badger so far for Murloc, and they're gonna push Pboop back for the time being. And don't forget, through all this chaos, I mean, Big Chungus has a nice thick second base there, and that's really gonna start telling the tale of this fight. I mean, we're past the 5-minute mark. The economies for everybody still in a single base are starting to dwindle. Okay, 1 stack of poison on the Badger. Alright, now Lego, yeah, Lego's gonna get all the stacks on it. That Badger should go down, even with the pigeons healing. 6 stacks is just so much. Well, I don't know if these pigeons actually heal it. Okay, okay. Ah! Are they gonna heal it through? Okay, that's a lot of healing. Murloc's starving. Jeez, that poison lasts for so long. Alright, these pigeons are gonna make it work. And there it is, the Badger lives through the poison, but Lego Man still has all his snakes here and is gonna come in and continue to poison down. All the economies are starting to dwindle. However, Evil Murloc does have the second base up as well. This time around, though, with that many stacks of poison, yeah, you just need to commit this Badger in there, get as much damage as you can before it dies. And there it goes, the Badger is down. But the economy for Pboop is down in the dumps. Lego Man has a couple farms on the second base. Sassy does have a second mill, but hasn't been able to put any farms into it. Sassy's starving out, trying to help Lego Man as much as he can here on the front lines. But I think in the end, Mice Musketeers might just have this because they were able to get their second bases up and running. Let's see. The Badger gets sold from Murloc. Look at that army graph, man. Yeah, if you can clearly see the incomes, it's all Big Chungus now. And Big Chungus's Badger is paid for, although I'm not even sure you really need the Badger at this point. More and more Falcons, more and more Squirrels seem pretty good. Alright, Sassy barely doesn't die to starving, so he's still in the game, but he's, him and Murloc are pretty crippled at this point. Murloc doing a bit better. And the dust is starting to settle. But in my opinion, it seems like Mice Musketeers should have the advantage right now. They've got much healthier economies here going into the mid to late game. Lego Man trying to get up that 8 farms on the second base. But he's down to mostly just snakes. Alright, Evil gonna come in. Nice response here from Lego Man. Gonna prevent a lot of death on the farms. Meanwhile, the big bad boar is here. And it's just gonna torch down this second base from Lego. Mice Musketeers turning this into kind of 2 1v1s. And generally snakes aren't so good against lizards, but when you have 4 snakes backed up by some pigeons, they're getting some real work done here. Each time a snake poisons a lizard, that's a dead lizard. But Big Chungus is looking in for the killing blow on Sassy. Really good decision making from Big Chungus to get that second base up and running. Sassy is sent to the kitchens, leaving Lego in a 1v2 here. Can he make the magic happen? I don't think so. That's too big of armies. Big Chungus has a real proper army here. Just gonna move in. Lego Man is holding it down to the last snake. Then it's gonna be it. GG. Point number 1 on the board for Mice Musketeers in this series. That was a really cool game, but it definitely came down to the economies there at the end. Okay. Hopping into match number 2 here. Olive, did you ever hear from Osen? I haven't heard from Premium Bow yet. He doesn't seem to be online. Haven't heard from Osen either. Okay. Yeah, so most likely after this we'll go into the 1v1 replays. And then I think any other matches just might have to get played off stream, unfortunately. Okay, in the top right, we got the Evil Chungus from the Mice Musketeers. And in the bottom, Sassy Lego. Pretty awkward map. Oof. Okay, well, that looks like a pretty easy expansion. Maybe these expansions are better for Pboop this time around? I mean, not perfect, but, you know, this doesn't look too bad, right? Maybe Sassy takes this base, leaves this one for Lego. And up here, I think the problem is just this, the lack of the ramp right here, you know? Because this isn't so bad either, but for Big Chungus's expansion, he's going to have to run his units all the way around, which means that they might start having to park their units kind of out front, not really be able to take advantage of the high ground here. And then it looks like, actually, you know, if we get into 3 bases, it's probably going to be easier for Mice Musketeer to grab those additional bases, so I kind of like this better for Pboop if it's a 2-base game, but if it becomes a 3-base game, I think Mice Musketeers is going to be pretty happy with their mill spawns. Alright, Sassy trying a little bit of mole harassment here in the early game. It didn't look to work out too well for him, though. Okay. So, moving forward in this match, we're just going to have to give it a few minutes to develop. So far, no big decisions have been made yet, just a bunch of Tier 1, getting up to the 8 farms. So, again, we're going to be looking out for Tier 2 drops, maybe a second base. Good scouting there from Sassy, just seeing what's going on. Murloc's starting to move around with some lizards, but isn't committing anything just yet. Oh, it looks like a Tier 1 push may be coming. Lego does scout it. So they need to get their units in position, but they might not be in time. Sassy's ready for it, but Lego's units need to come over here very quickly, or else this will be a 1v2. Murloc diving in. Lego's reinforcements are getting here. And looks like a farm drops. But do we need to see a counterattack here or something? I think that trade was better for Pboop. It's always kind of hard to tell in 2v2 just because there's so many variables. Oh, poor Lego doesn't have the pigeon support here to abuse that ramp, or the terrain. Yeah, there he's going to throw down the pigeons now. This will be very nice for Pboop once the pigeons get here to just push down those pigs. Looks like Chungus might be aware of what Lego's trying to do with that, though. So we do see some skunks on the way for both sides. Cam's going down too. No second base just yet. Alright, now Lego does have the high ground vision. Badger being thrown down from Murloc. Will Lego see the Badger? Yes, he does. He knows the Badger's on the way. Can he actually shoot the Badger, Warren? Oh my god. Yeah, he can! Alright, Murloc's got to sell it. Really nice pickup for Lego. That's a ton of damage, pretty much for free. Forces the repositioning of the Badger Warren, which is going to slow that down. Kills 3 pigs there. So Pboop, nice punch back for Pboop after that first attack, but Murloc's heading in with a lot of lizards here. Sassy in position, though, to quell this attack. It looks like Lego wants to counter after Murloc just lost a lot of his army. Lego's getting in position here. Chungus has a decent army as well, though. Again, lots of skunk gas in 2v2. It seems to be a theme here. It makes sense because you kind of get stuck in this Tier 1 phase, and then the skunks come out and start devastating all that Tier 1 you have left over. Evil Murloc engaging. Might just have to wait a second, see how the dust settles on this. Ooh. Okay, Sassy pushing in. Trying to decide whether or not he wants to commit these cams. Both cams do go down. I think a couple of Warrens went down there, but yeah, more and more Warrens are falling. Lego Man is not retreating. He's continuing to push in. Does Lego Man have enough? 4 skunks plus pigeon ceiling is a ton of tanking here on the front line. And maybe this army from Pboop is enough to break the back here of Mice Musketeers. The Badger is almost out, but will it be enough? You generally need more. You need a lot of support for the Badger. Lego Man really wants to DPS down that Badger Warren, but realizes he probably can't just yet. He should just target down the mill. Oh, he's gonna deny the Warren right before it comes out. Okay, that should be game for Pboop. Gonna tie things up 1-1 here. Nicely done. And honestly, I feel like, you know, Murloc kind of throwing away some of those lizards there attacking into Sassy's base might have been the catalyst. That plus the high ground abuse from Lego Man into Big Chungus's base. I think it was those two things that really let Pboop win that one. Alright, tied up 1-1 here. Whoever wins this gets a point on the board. In the bottom left, Evil Chungus. And in the top right, Sassy Lego. Nice winter map here. Looks a little bit more even this time around, yeah. No, this is actually really solid based in the series on, or map rather. You know, both sides seem to have pretty decent access to 3 bases. And there's kind of like this one as like the 4th base, you know, for either team. So yeah, you couldn't really ask for a better map spawn for this. I guess the major complaint would probably be the fact that Murloc is on the low ground right here. But that just means Chungus and Murloc really need to hold their ground up here on this high ground. And hopefully not let the push get all the way into Murloc's base. What's nice though about Murloc being on the low ground like this at least is all these trees here are going to make it difficult to come in. But yeah, pretty even map. Just gonna have to wait and see how these players want to play it. Alright. Sorry, trying to coordinate a little bit with the clan leaders behind the scenes. Trying to do stuff like this live can always be rough, because, like, you're really counting on, like, 10, 15 people to be here, and then if, like, just 1 or 2 of them aren't, like, it really throws the schedule off for everything. Alright, so it looks like we are going to get into some 2-base play this game. Chungus going up to a lot of Falcons, so we are getting, actually a lot more Tier 2 development on the Mice Musketeer side than the Pboop side just yet, but there should be some follow-up scouting. Yeah, Lego Man's going to come in and scout now. Kind of try to keep even on the Tier 2 count. Okay, does see 3 Tier 2 Warrens. Does see the second base. Good scout here from Pboop. So yeah, we're still fairly even at this point. I wonder if we're actually going to get like a macro game. This would be a great map for it. It's just going to depend on who decides to pull the trigger. Are we going to get into Tier 3? We have some badgers on both sides, and then a wolf and a boar. So yeah, this is gonna. I have high hopes for this match. I think it's gonna turn out pretty well. Looks like everyone's still just powering up. Nobody's really behind, right? Nobody's been delivered any kind of really hampering blows just yet. Curious if we're going to see a second base from Sassy or Chungus. If we see any Tier 3 coming out. So far it looks like just Murloc and Lego are the ones powering up. Sassy taking that mill now. And Chungus looks like he wants to take a tier 3 instead of expand, so he's going to throw down the Boar Warren. And at around the exact same time, we do see the batter from Sassy, so yeah, we are just powering up so far. Okay. Ooh, Wolf on the way. So Murloc's the only one who hasn't thrown down a tier 3 just yet. Murloc coming in for a scout. This is a pretty important scout. He's also got his cams here. He needs to be careful of that. Does see the badger. These cams are in a dangerous position right now. What's Sassy up to back here? Oh, he's got some Bull Warrens. Oh, that's beautiful. And Murloc's not responding to this. Murloc looks like he's getting ready to move out, but now he sees what's up. All right, kill a tier 2 Warren. Okay. Not bad there, Sassy. Chungus getting the second base up as well. Oh man, this is wild. I think this is the first 2v2 I've seen this season where the players weren't at each other's throats just yet. Some balloons coming up too. That's going to be huge for Mice Musketeers. Balloons scale very, very nicely. To the point where you get up to like 4 or 5 balloons in an area, and it's just so hard to attack into that. Alright, let's see. Woof almost done for Lego. We do have the Boar out. And we also have the Badger. So Murloc still no tier 3, but Murloc's going Snakes instead. And Balloons, so it looks like Murloc is more ready to be the anti-tier 3 for his team. Lots of Falcons here from Lego. Good lord, I missed that tech switch. Lego switched really, really hard. Out of tier 1. Which is smart against the Boar. But again, I'm worried about this line of balloons. You know, there are other angles of attack. Maybe if you're... Oh, I'm sorry, I just missed a nice pickup there from Murloc. Knocking out that second base from Sassy for free. But that second base didn't have much money on it anyways. But again, I mean, Sassy really needs to expand, or he will starve out soon. So knocking that out really hurts, to be honest, because now he's got to sell stuff to rebuild the Warren, or the mill. Okay. Alright, Lego Man building up a ton of Falcons. Does look like Sassy was able to get this mill back up and running. And again, this balloon wall is established, and I think this is gonna let Evil Murloc also secure this space. But Lego being sneaky and grabbing this 9 o'clock base that should belong to the Mice Musketeers. Man, look at this army from Pboop. So many pigeons, cams, falcons, badger boar. What kind of comp are we looking at on the other side here? Ooh, again, Evil Murloc with the snipes. Needs to be careful though, if he loses all these cams, that could be a nice catalyst for Pboop to push in. We've got some monster armies here. I don't know, I like the comp for Pboop better, but all these balloons, I mean, Pboop needs to be careful about their angle of engagement. I think you try to take the fight away from the balloons, but if you do that, you might also risk the base trade. But it looks like Lego Man might be playing 4D chess though, and he already thought about that. He's already got that mill in the 9 o'clock in case it does get base racy. Alright, wolf number 2 on the way for Lego. And he's gonna use his first wolf to buff the other wolf. I heard you like wolves, so let me give a wolf buff to your wolf warrior to get another wolf. Here we go. Double wolf falcon pigeon for Lego. The supreme late game army. But look at this positioning too. What do we got mostly here? Cam, Snake, Falcons. I mean, Chungus isn't slacking on the Falcon department either. Yeah, this is tough. You're in this situation where Pboop seems like they have the better army, but they don't really want to attack into the balloons. Meanwhile, Murloc, the Mice Musketeers, you know, have this balloon position, but they're not really encouraged to move out on the map. Oh man, I wonder if we're gonna stalemate out for a little bit on this one. It's been a long time since I've seen a 2v2 like this. Murloc with his Metal Gear Solid chameleons. Being sneaky though, attacking the infrastructure right as Pboop is getting ready to move out. Pboop gonna run home and try to deal with these. Does kill a couple of them, but good. Another nice job there from Murloc with these cams. Picks up some value. A few of them do get gunned down on the way home. And are we gonna get in a big engagement? We still haven't had a proper engagement yet this game, and it's like 10 minutes in. I think Lego was tempted to move out since he just picked off some of those cams. But those cams got value. I mean, they killed at least two tier 2 warrens, and I think only 2 cams died, so that's cash money right there. Sassy looking to return the favor with some lizards. And actually gets in there. Is going to start knocking a few things down. Nice. Which is going to force the army out of position. Lego trying to jump up on these balloons, but Chungus does stay here. God. Alright. Mice Musketeers are going for it. Lego trying to prioritize keeping his wolves alive, but Mice Musketeers actually just slamming through this army. That was not even close. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than that. But look at that, man. I mean, just hammered through the base. All those... I think Lego might have been shuffling his units a little bit too much or something, you know, like with the rally command. Because those Falcons all got gunned down really quick, and they're wolf buff Falcons. I don't know, maybe they didn't have enough front support, but look at this. Mice Musketeers just slamming through. And are going to win the series and put a point up on the board for their plan. There's kind of no hope left here for Pboop, unfortunately. Very nicely done. Alright. So off to a good start today. And that's going to be GG. Nicely done from Mice Musketeers. So I still haven't heard from Premium Bow, so I don't think we can get into the other live 2v2 just yet. So nicely done there by MM. So that means we're going to go into some replays next. Get the scoreboard ready to roll. Alright. Cool. Alrighty, let's get into this. So this is one of the 1v1s here. Chicken Finger Subs versus Sassy Marquez. Let's get into it. At the bottom, we got Sassy Marquez representing Pboop, and in the top left, Chicken Finger Subs representing Mice Musketeers, man. I love and I hate his name. Because I moved up north recently, right? I used to live in Florida, and we had a great grocery store chain called Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And they would make the best chicken finger subs, I'm telling you. They're like world class. There was that like I forget his name, but if you guys ever watched that YouTuber, he's kind of like a babyface guy, and he always wears like a suit. He's really popular on YouTube, and he like reviews food from various, you know, chains or whatever. And he did one on the chicken tender sub from Publix, and he even agreed that it was an amazing sub. So every time I see Chicken Finger Sub's name, I think of that sub from Publix that I no longer have access to. And it makes me sad. So I really want, because it used to be like real quick, and it was well priced too. There wasn't, you know, it's expensive, not expensive. It's like $8-9 for a foot long. All right, a little bit of mole harassment from Sassy. Gets a farm. Okay, not bad. I think he should, yeah, I think he's messing up here, though. Well, if he gets this Warren, that's pretty poggers, but it's gonna be close. Oh, okay, well, Chicken Finger sells it anyways, so yeah, I guess that was pretty successful. Sassy, delaying a little bit at home since he was floating a lot with that mole attack, but he managed to kill a farm and pretty much kill a Warren. I think Chicken Finger's, misplayed's not the right word, but, you know, got a little bit nervous there. And selling that Warren, it was going to live, but maybe he was thinking, alright, the next mole in is going to kill it or something like that. Let's see, Sassy. Being super aggro here. Seeing if he can leverage another attack. Yeah, even taking a mill. He's going to move in. He prevents that mine from going down. I don't think Sassy has enough of an advantage, though. I don't think he has as much of an advantage as he thought he did, so I think Sassy's fumbling the ball here a little bit. Well, let's see if the mill is helping a bit. But essentially that mill is going to be another 60 food down the drain. But no, okay. Alright, Sassy holding the fort. Even picking up a mine there, so this has been a really scrappy game so far for both sides. And Sassy's all in, he's even building Warrens up here. So he wants to utilize this mill tanking to help give him an edge in these engagements here. See if he can start taking efficient trades with these squirrels, get just enough squirrels left over to like kill a farm or something. I don't know though, the army count is pretty even. Okay, some moles coming down here in the front. Sassy trying to reveal these mines. Gotta be careful with his commander HP. Alright, he gets the reveal. Oh, careful. Oh my god, his commander dies. Does Chicken Finger have enough though? No, it looks like just, even without micro, there's enough squirrels here from Sassy. Okay, Sassy's starting to get an edge. He's gonna have this healing. Well, you get healing anyways, but look at this. He wants to speed up the process, even letting the squirrels take a quick bath. And Sassy Marquez moving forward. He smells blood in the water. He sees the blood on the snow. And this time around, he's gonna kill a pig. So will this be the beginning of the end? Sassy being very relentless. Gonna get another pig, okay. Yeah. As long as Sassy plays this right, I think Chicken Fingers is getting into a worse and worse position. 3 pigs actually dead there, yeah. Chicken Fingers knows what's up. Taps out, and Sassy, not messing around, comes out the gate punching, and takes an aggressive win here in game number 1. Alright, let's hop into match number 2 here. Alright, in the left side, Sassy Marquez, and over on the right, Chicken Finger Subs. This time grabbing the turret over the mines. Actually, I wasn't looking super closely at their decks, so I'm not quite sure how much both sides changed it up. It was a pretty action-packed game there, so I didn't have to fill time by talking about the unit selections. All right. So we gotta give this one a minute to get brewing here, and then after this we're gonna go into Mishi versus Sasha. And that might be it for today, unfortunately. I don't think we quite got the live players in position in time for the other 2v2 or the Wolf Owl Empire versus Badger Missionary, so we might just have to have those games kind of play out and sort with Lupus on who wins where. But if Chicken Fingers wins this series, and then Sasha beats Mishi, then the other 2v2 doesn't matter. Mice Musketeer wins. Hopefully that's not the case, because hashtag bias caster. I am on Team Pboop, so I'm torn, man. On the one hand, if Mice Musketeers wins this and the next series, then we have closure, right? And it's like, okay, you know, we finished the fight. But on the other, which is good for the show or the episode or the event. But on the other hand, I want my team to win. And for that to happen, well, we would just need one win either here or in the game, or if Mishi beats Sasha. Really, Mice Musketeers needs to both win this one and the Sasha Mishi game for the clan, for this match to just be over. So far, though, I think Sassy's in a good spot. Chicken Fingers got this turret. I think he was a little bit worried about getting attacked in again, like what happened last game. Kind of sees the farm on the second base, but doesn't really see the second base. So I think Chicken Fingers now knows about the second. Love to see him sell off this turret. There he goes. Nice. And so far, I think Sassy is playing fairly well, but it looks like... Ooh. Oh, this could get base trady. I think Sassy's about to move in. Right as the Lizards approach from Chicken Fingers. Chicken Fingers is going to get this farm. What's Sassy's choice going to be? Yeah, Sassy's just going to go for it. Is Chicken Fingers going to commit? I don't think he has enough Lizards here to straight up win the game, though. Alright, Sassy's going to come home and try to clean up these Lizards. But actually, I think that was better for Chicken Fingers. Oh man, even these Lizards here still picking up some Warrens. Oh, they're gonna get the Mole Warren too? Oh no, they're not. Alright, Sassy's moving in though. Some decent toe connections. But look at this! Really good tactics here from Chicken Finger subs. Not only keeps him alive, but I would even argue he's got the upper hand now. I mean, those Lizards really devastated Sassy's base and killed a lot of Warrens. And Chicken Fingers, with a lot of Squizzard on his hands, could come in for a counterattack. Sassy realizes he's in hot water, trying to throw down as many Warrens as possible. Even a main base pig went down there. So I'd love to see Chicken Fingers really commit and push in. Let's see, I'm not sure. It's always tough in these positions to really understand when you can push in. But he did have a bit. I think that was an incorrect pullback. I think if he would have committed there, he would have won the game. But it's easy for us to say that when we can see everything, right? It's different when you're in the heat of the moment. You're down one game in a tournament match, you know? So, Chicken Fingers just going to get this mill. And by this point, it looks like Sassy is kind of recovered. Tier 1 numbers. So I think that timing window for Chicken Fingers to come in is past. But he does get his second base up. He's got a lot of turrets, which I think might be a bit overkill at the moment. But he is very safe. Gonna commit to more and more Tier 1. And what's the play gonna be from Sassy? 5-minute mark is right around the corner. So we either need to really get in there and kill the opponent, or to expand. Goes for some Chameleons, which would be pretty great against Squizzard. Yeah, I'd love to see that second base. There it is. Lots and lots of turrets here for Chicken Fingers. I think this is a little bit oversafe, just as some advice. Like, I mean, you want to build like one turret, I think that's okay, but if you think, like, these turrets could be farms right now, you know what I mean? Alright, Chicken moving out with some Lizards, seeing if he can poke down a little bit of damage. I think he will. These units are not in position to protect the Warrens here. So nice pickups again from Chicken Fingers. Yeah, I think that's generally the mistake I see here from Chicken Fingers, is just a little bit over zealous with the turrets here. And Sassy is starting to recover, getting into some cams, but 24 squirrels is a lot of squirrels, especially backed up by some falcons if Chicken Fingers can get into that. He might be able to just DPS down these cams really quick, but 4 cams is always very threatening. All right. So now both sides are just trying to get into second base farms. I think both sides are a little bit hesitant to commit to a big attack. Slowly but surely more and more farms are getting thrown down. Sassy thinking about moving out. I don't think this is going to work though. Especially with the turrets there. Sassy wants to make it happen. He's thinking about it. He knows he's got some cams, but he doesn't quite have all 4. Yeah, those cams just go down so fast on the front lines. And Sassy's going to clean this army up, no problem. And here comes a big counterattack from Sassy. So yeah, the decision to attack for Sassy did not work out there. And this might be game. This is going to be a big counter. So yeah, that's going to be GG. And Sassy puts a point on the board. Or I'm sorry, Chicken Fingers puts a point on the board. And we're gonna hop into game number 3 in just a second. I need a very quick break. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Alright, I am back, and we're tied up 1-1 between Chicken Finger Subs and Sassy Marquez. We're going to hop right into game number 3 here. And spawning on the left-hand side, we've got Sassy representing Pboop, and over on the right, Chicken Finger Subs for the Mice Musketeers. And this is for all the marbles. Yeah, and I think all that's left on the docket for this stream is going to be the 1v1 between Mishi and Sasha. I don't think any of the other matches quite got lined up in time. So those will just have to be played and the results reported to Lupus. Yeah, nice big old map. Who's got the better spawn? Looks like Sassy definitely has a better spawn here. 3 easy bases right up here on a high ground with some water in front. Meanwhile, Chicken Fingers is on a little bit of a low ground, but I don't think that's the big concern. And he does have a nice natural base. This should be pretty easy to expand, but getting into a third is going to be difficult. He's going to have to move all the way down here. We probably won't see this go to a third base anyways, which is one thing you got to keep in mind. You got to it's easy to like overanalyze map spawns, you know, but realistically, if this is a 2-base game, then it's pretty similar for both sides, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a 2-base match, especially with more beginner-level players. Exact same timing. I take that, those mills, that was pretty cool. But yeah, most likely today we're just gonna have one more best of 3 after this. Nice, but it's gonna be a hype one. I mean, Mishi versus Sasha, those are two of the best players in the game, so. So let's think. If Chicken Fingers wins this, and then Sasha beat Mishi, then we close the book on this clan war. But if Sassy wins this and Mishi beats Sasha, then the clan war is unfinished. And the players will just have to kind of coordinate on their own time and get the rest of the matches played. Alright, looks like Falcon's on the way for Chicken Fingers. Lots of Falcons, actually. Meanwhile, just tier 1 so far. So Chicken Fingers being kind of greedy, but Sassy is... Okay, Sassy sees one of the tier 2 ones. You didn't see the other one, but... Sassy is pulling ahead on the farms. So both players have their own little bits of advantage. I actually would have liked to see Sassy throw down the other 2 farms there, because since you know your opponent's going into tier 2, you have a little bit of time before getting attacked. Ooh, Chicken Finger with the Big Daddy Boar getting thrown down. And Sassy's got snakes to deal with the boar, but that's it. And I don't think Sassy would just build the snakes. Sassy needs to scout that tier 3 warren, I think, to build the snakes, right? Oh! The army just in the right position there to deny the scout, but I think Sassy was on the right trajectory to find that boar. Okay. Get some snakes anyways. Sees a lot of tier 2. But still pretty heavy on the tier 1. This is tough. I'm not even sure what Sassy... Like, if Sassy knew about the boar, should he go up to 4 snakes? Is 2 snakes enough? I think 2 snakes is enough, right? Yeah, Chicken Fingers with so much Falcon. That's actually really smart because Sassy doesn't have a lot that can shoot up. So the idea is the boar kills the squirrels, Falcons kill everything else. Alright, Lego's thinking that 2 snakes will get the job done since Chicken Finger doesn't have pigeons. Alright, I do like all this tier 1, surprisingly, from Sassy. I mean, it seems counterintuitive with the boar, but you just kind of gotta kite back and let the snakes handle the boar. This is a lot of tier 1 warrens, good lord. Alright, Sassy knows the attack's coming. He needs to kind of kite back. Let the snakes deal with the boar if he can. He's gonna come in, he's gonna try to target it down. 3 stacks, 4 stacks, nicely done by Sassy. He's gonna get the boar, but does he have enough squirrels to deal with the Falcons? I think that went about as well as it could have for Sassy. Nice control. But the problem is all these Falcons in the air. However, there are so many tier 1 warrens here from Sassy. You should be able to clean this up, and really nice hold from Sassy. Again, the boar got a lot done. But the problem is Chicken Fingers has all his, most of his warrens are tier 2, tier 3. The next boar is on the way. But this is the advantage of a lot of tier 1 warrens, is this follow-up attack. You get a lot more boots on the ground pretty quickly, but Chicken's in a nice defensible position. Like, this little bit of high ground here is actually kind of a pain in the ass, since Sassy doesn't have any flying units to give high ground vision. And also keep in mind, you know, even though I think the army trade was better for Sassy there. I mean, the boar, it's the Chad boar, man. Like, it killed so many warrens, it killed a couple pigs. It got a lot done. There's already another boar here on the field, and there's no snakes this time around. Chicken Fingers pushing through. And that might be it. Mice Musketeers going up to 2 points. Called this a little bit early, maybe. Sassy still does have his farms, but he doesn't. He's got one snick. So many falcons here to really burst down those snakes as they try to get in to tag the boar. Alright, Sassy's gonna give it one last hurrah. That boar is really low. The boar will die, but can Sassy deal with the rest of these falcons? And even if he does, he's already taken so much damage. Falcons are beginning to fall. I think Sassy will hold, but again, the real story is the damage that Chicken Fingers is dealing. You know, killing the pigs, killing the warrens. Yeah, Sassy's got to try to counterattack right now, and Chicken Fingers surprisingly has been able to just pump out these boars, man. Like, boar number 3 on the way. Like, these boars are just never supply blocked. If Chicken Fingers can make it happen right now before the boar gets here... Oh, his commander's gonna go down, though. Will his unit still be able to get it done? Doesn't look like it. Alright, this is gonna be the Alamo here for Sassy. This is the last stand as the Falcon Boar army pushes in. Sassy trying his best for his team. The Chicken Finger subs is tastier. GG. We are not feasting on Chicken Finger subs tonight. Alright, so that's another point on the board for the Mice Musketeers. So Sasha beats Mishi here, which is a tall order. Then the Clan Wars is finished, even without playing the last 2v2. But we're talking about Mishi. But we're also talking about Sasha. I mean, they're both pretty awesome players. This could go either way, 100%. There's no... It's impossible. But the difference, I mean... You know, Mishi is arguably, like, the GOAT of Tooth and Tail. If you just look at the numbers, like, the amount of events that he's won and placed in over the years. But I think the difference is Sasha's a lot more of a tryhard. Like, Sasha is really practicing a lot, really thinking about the meta, theory crafting. Whereas Mishi normally doesn't. Mishi just kind of preps for an event, so... That's the edge I think I give the Sasha coming into this. I'd imagine Sasha's probably better prepared than Mishi is for this match. But we'll see. Let's get into it. Mishi versus Sasha. Alright, on the left-hand side, as Hopper representing Pboop, we've got Mishi, and in the bottom, as the Quartermaster representing Mice Musketeers, we have Sasha. Interesting deck from Sasha. I haven't seen a lot of Skunk Owl in today's meta, so I'm curious how she's going to play this out. And I'm also curious about what the second game is going to look like. I mean, is Sasha expecting Ferret Fox from Mishi? Is that why the owls are here? Because generally, the boar beats the owl in the rock, paper, scissors relationship of the tier 3. But at the same time, this... Ooh, hold that thought. We got a 5-farm double coming out of Mishi. I think that was in response to the 5-farm single from Sasha, though. So Sasha might have just been opening up with a safety warren and tricked Mishi into thinking aggression was coming. So Mishi tried to get out in front of that with a double. And yeah, I think Mishi realized that, sold off. So nice little bit of selling here or there to try to get this edge as we're getting up to 8 farms. Alright, Sasha and Tosh in the chat commenting that the owl, you know, if the game goes long enough, the owl is still going to be stronger and get more value than the boar. Makes sense. Yeah, what I was getting at before we had that little bit of shenanigans was I really like Sasha's late game army. Like Skunk, Falcon, Owl. I mean, is just the Chad late game comp. It was a lot more popular like a year or two ago, I want to say, as like the comp. I think most recently it was what, Skunk, Snake, Wolf Owl. But I think the Skunk, Falcon, Owl style may be coming back. Like Sasha's got the cams and the mines for the mid game, and then you get into that hyper late game army. Where Mishi, I feel like Mishi's got a better mid game army, especially with the moles. Moles feel really good this patch. Just to kind of open up that timing window, you know? Like, if you start getting an edge in the mid-game, throw down 2 or 3 Mole Warrens, swing in for the win. But the one thing I haven't talked too much about yet is the map, which is very small. And Mishi is trying to expand, Sasha's going to contest that, and Mills just have such small amount of HP on this patch when they first get built, because they get more HP over time. Isn't that how it works? One of you real Tooth and Tail fans in the chat can tell me. But if I understand correctly, when you build the mill, it doesn't have a lot of HP, and then over time it gets more and more now. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so Sasha was able to gun down that fresh mill pretty quickly, take a decent engagement there, and deny the expansion from Mishi. Mishi is very well known as a greed player. If Mishi gets to play the game that he likes, he's going to want to go right up to 16 farms. So Sasha trying to prevent that from Mishi and say, like, no, you're going to play a scrappy game down here in the mud with me. So Mishi kind of recognizes that now, getting into some moles, getting into some cams. So yeah, we got to let this one breathe a little bit here. I think both players are just trying to build up their cam numbers at the moment. I'd imagine Sasha might be the aggressor again. Attacking is really weird in Tooth and Tail, right? Like, there's defender's advantage, but there's also the fact if you're the aggressor, then let's say we trade armies, but you also pick off a Warren or two, right? Like, rinse and repeat that a few times and you win the game. So, there's kind of pros and cons to both. Like, I'd generally rather be attacking than defending. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're defending, you know, a pig might die, a Warren might die, something like that. So Mishi gonna try to get into that second base again. Sasha will scout it pretty quickly. I'm surprised Mishi actually didn't... Oh, he did go for the campfire. I was going to say, yeah, just get the campfire. Because if Sasha's not expanding, you really don't want to be throwing your money in economy. And Sasha trying to do some esports here with the cams, but this might come back to haunt her if Mishi pushes, but Mishi does not look like he's pushing. Really good turret there. I wonder where Sasha would expand. Maybe here? If Sasha does decide to expand, but so far it doesn't look like that is the plan from her just yet. We are at the 5-minute mark, though, so I think, yeah, she's got to expand, and there it is. Yeah, that seems to make the most sense. But Mishi's starting to get hunkered down here with some turrets. Also, additional tier 2 on the way for both sides. Economies are not great, since we did not have a big farm inning, and we're, you know, about 5.5 minutes in now. Alright, Sasha gonna go for it. So far, this is looking pretty good for Mishi. A lot of DPS out of the turrets. But Sasha's army is actually starting to clean it up. Sasha gets left over with a couple skunks. A couple tier 2 left for Mishi. Damn, look at that trade. Are you kidding me? Look how close that was. Holy moly. Alright, Sasha moving in from a different angle this time. Getting some free gas down. And So far, the Falcon is doing a pretty good job. Okay, these squirrels on the high ground there pick it off. So this is starting to look pretty good for Sasha, but the cams show up. If Sasha can keep these skunks alive, yeah, she does. Very nice. Also killed a pig in that engagement. Might guts down another pig. Yeah, this is starting to look pretty bad for Mishi. He might have too much money wrapped up in tier 2, and yeah, Mishi realizes that is it. Sasha gonna take it. Yeah, look how close that first engage was compared to the second. And again, I think it came, part of it was that Sasha had so many tier 1 warrens. Mishi was very heavy onto tier 2 at that point, so the follow-up attack from Sasha, I mean, she just had more boots on the ground, right? With more squirrels. I think Mishi had like 2 squirrel warrens versus 7 from Sasha. Alright. Match number 2. Alright, everybody, we gotta root for Mishi here. Okay, I don't care what team you're rooting for, but we gotta root for Mishi here so we go to game number 3. Because we want to see another match between these two. So, let's see it. In the bottom, fresh off a victory, we've got Sasha. And up top, Mishi with the woof this time. Sasha with the balloon. I like this deck from Sasha a lot. I think this is a good ladder deck, just good meta deck. You know, if somebody asks you in Tooth and Tail or something like, hey, I want to get into ranked, like, what should I play? This would not be a bad recommendation. I don't know if I would recommend balloons to beginners, though. I think defenses are actually kind of hard for beginners to use, because defenses are very niche, and you only need them at certain times, which is kind of hard to figure out as a beginner. Okay, another safety warren out from Sasha. I don't think Mishi will overreact. Maybe sells 1 pig? No. Yeah, I kind of like this for Mishi. I would have done the same thing. Because it was pretty clear that was a safety warren, not an aggressive warren. I also like, too, that Sasha sells it off. I think the thought process behind that is, like, you can really get blindsided, and a little bit of overreaction here from Mishi with the turret, but I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, Mishi needs a scout again. I think he's misread what's happening from Sasha. But I do like the safety warren from Sasha, because sometimes a 4-farm double or a 5-farm double can still get in and deal damage, like, if you don't scout it early enough. And then Sasha just sells that warren, right, once she realizes there is no attack coming in, so it doesn't really hamper the first 8-farm process that much. And Sasha playing greedy this time. Mishi is going to see it, and this does work pretty nicely with Mishi's opener. Does have some cams on the way. Mishi is more than happy to play a farming game. But is he being too greedy with the cams? Some lizards on the way here from Sasha. But I think Mishi will be fine. I don't think Sasha's really going to march tier 1 across the map right now. And even if she did, I think Mishi's cam could be out in time. Yeah, so we are going to have a farm inning here. We're going to get into 16 farm and take the game from there. And I guess I would give a small advantage to Mishi here. Just the tech advantage. He's already got his 1 set of tier 2 bought and paid for. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. Both players are in very similar positions. And Lizards maybe looking for something, but Mishi's ready. He's got the squirrels in the right spot. He's got a couple turrets up. Not gonna lose some pigs for free. Can't blame Sasha for trying. Sasha gonna go ahead and move up to this mill. So, alright, if Mishi's gonna be overly defensive, then I can get some map advantage. I can throw it on a balloon. And Mishi is going into a lot of chameleons. I mean, typically we see people go to 4 cams, but 6 cams on the way from Mishi. Mishi did this last game as well, but so did Sasha. Alright, so there's that balloon. And this is a really good position for Sasha because she's going to start containing Mishi. And you just start building more and more balloons. Yeah, Mishi knows what's up, and he realizes he can't just sit around and let this happen. He's going to move in. He does kill the balloon, and he's going to take some decent trades. Tries to save that last cam, but it does go down. This time around, Mishi will have some moles. Mishi, okay, Mishi doesn't know about the new balloon. Oh, this is intense. Alright, here we go. Gonna move in again. Gonna try to focus down that balloon before it can get rolling. These moles doing a good job helping the tank. Mishi needs to focus down that Falcon. He gets it. And yeah, Mishi does win the fight pretty handily this time around. Mishi is not gonna stop for that mill. He's looking for blood. He wants to get some real damage done to Sasha's base here. Start picking off some Warren's pigs. And that's a pretty good job. Did Sasha hold, or are we going to see a tap? This looks like too much damage. And yeah, there's going to be the tap from Sasha? No? Okay. Should be coming in. There it is. Okay. 1-1. Nice. All right. Now that we're 1-1 and we get to go to the last game, you are free to root for whoever you want, chat. Again, I'm torn because if Sasha wins, and it's like, all right, we finished the series. But come on, I'm Clan Pboop, so I want Mishi to win. So I guess, well, I can think of it this way. I'll be happy either way, right? Either way, some really cool matches from both these high-level players. Let's get into it. Game number 3. Looks like the last game of the stream, most likely. So let's do it. Alright, in the bottom left, we have Sasha, representing Mice Musketeers, and in the top right, Mishi, Clan Pboop. Okay, so Sasha going back to her roots here. Gonna take that Owl Skunk Falcon comp that she took game 1. Mishi, I don't think Mishi's really changed it up. I think he's kind of went back and forth between the boar and the wolf, right? Other than that, he's been running the same thing. I would love to see a late game with these comps. That would be very interesting. Map doesn't look too bad for a late game. It really, in a weird way though, I really think it depends on Sasha. Because I don't think Mishi's going to be aggressive unless he has to, unless... well, Mishi's not going to be aggressive unless one or two things. Either A, there's some kind of mistake made by Sasha that allows Mishi to be aggressive, but that's not going to happen because Sasha is too good of a player. Or B, Sasha decides to get aggressive. I think Mishi's default is going to be trying to get up to 16 farms and a lot of chameleons. And Mishi going to go right into some cams here. How's the map looking? 3 base for Mishi, no problem. 2nd base for Sasha, no problem. This base in the middle kind of sucks. Maybe Sasha could expand this way. Kind of an awkward map, to be honest. I mean, maybe it's a little bit better for Mishi just because this base here is on the high ground and this one's on the low. But Sasha could start taking over the map this way and have access to, like, I see a solid 4 bases right here for Sasha, right? Like the southeast one and then these 2 other ones. So that's not too bad. Meanwhile, I guess Mishi would have these 3, no problem. And then maybe this top base. So the 2nd base farming has begun for Mishi, but Sasha has not committed to a 2nd base, so is Mishi being too greedy? If Sasha throws down some tier 1 warrants here, Mishi could be in some hot water. Yeah, I mean, Mishi's getting into tier 2, he's also getting into a 2nd base. Yeah, Sasha's gonna come punish. Maybe Mishi misread this and thought Sasha would expand. But no, Sasha's moving in. Lots of mines here to bait the enemy in with the skunks. I love this composition with the skunks and mines. No, Sasha's just going to decide to head home. It's an important match. I guess she doesn't want it to just end based on that engagement, one way or the other. So she's gonna decide to expand. But now I'm kind of liking Mishi's spot better because he does have his second base up a little faster. But if Sasha goes crazy on the farms here, she could catch up pretty quick and, you know, both players be at 16 farms relatively similarly. Yeah, I think that's correct here from Sasha. Yeah, sell some stuff up. Yep, exactly. I think that's how Sasha pulls back from the other two farms being a little late. Yep, perfect. So, yeah, you can see there, Mishi had a bit of an eco advantage for a little bit, but we're going to stabilize at 16 farms for both players pretty quickly. So, not going to be the biggest deal in the world. Alright, cool. Wonder if we're going to see some Tier 3 this game. That'd be fun. Probably not, but I am curious to see who would win between Wolfcam Falcon and Skunk Falcon Owl. There's a Tier 3 from Sasha. Let's see if Mishi scouts it, but I think Mishi should be throwing down a wolf relatively soon either way. Yeah, should. Oh no, Mishi! No! Ah! Great Warren placement from Sasha there. Just right out of the eye of Mishi. And Sasha also getting a fantastic scout while that was going on. She saw exactly everything that Mishi was doing. So Mishi doesn't see the Tier 3, but I would argue a single owl is probably the least. Okay, should see this one. There it is. Yeah, he knows what's going on now. But a single owl is probably the least impactful Tier 3 to get blindsided from, you know what I mean? Like if a fox or a boar hits you, you're not ready for, that could just end the game. But if an owl hits you that you're not ready for, they generally don't pack in a punch. But Mishi's actually going to go in here with some moles and see if he can make it happen before this owl hits the board. But Sasha deflects so far pretty well. Loses a pig, but that pig was on its way out anyways. And Sasha going to follow up with a counter here. This is not looking good for Mishi. Mishi invested in the third base, so I feel like maybe Mishi misread that, thinking he had more army. But in reality, the money that Sasha spent on the owl, Mishi pretty much spent on his third base, so their armies were a little closer than it probably seemed. Oh, Mishi keeps this Falcon alive, that'd be nice! Yeah, if you look at the army value graph there, they were actually really even before they attacked, and I think Mishi was thinking, well, I've got 360 extra food and army than he does, but... or she does, rather, I'm sorry. Alright, the owl is here. And so much Tier 1. And I think Mishi's ready to tap, and that is it! Sasha with the victory! Congratulations to her and Mice Musketeers. So, nicely played from both sides. But yeah, at least we get to wrap this one up today, which is nice. So, Mice Musketeers with the victory. Coming in clutch. Yeah, 3-0 today against Pboop. So, we've got that one done. Good job, Sasha and the rest of the team. So yeah, so that is it for the stream, everybody. Take it easy. I'll probably see you all next weekend. I feel like I'm kind of in a rotation now to cover Clan Wars, you know, like early afternoon American time on Saturday generally. So take it easy, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you next week. See you.